Well, I'm back, okay? This is my town, my world, George, and nobody's gonna take it away from me.
Welcome to MojoPlays. And open world games might be all the rage right now, but back on the PS2, they were just starting to explore what was possible, and the devs made sure we had plenty to explore and uncover.
Bus stop's that way, champ.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Mafia.
Mr. Salieri would like to thank you as well as myself and Paulie. It's compensation for the damage to your car and your services. It should be enough.
The crime genre most easily fits into the open world sandbox formula, as popularized by the GTA series. But where that franchise is focused on increasingly absurd antics and missions, Mafia is as grounded as they come. Set at the height of the Mafia's power and influence during the 1930s, the city of Lost Heaven is a love letter to old-school crime noirs as you climb the ranks of the family, starting from a humble getaway driver to a high-ranking member within the organization. Everything in the world is oozing with care and detail. From the period-accurate clothes, buildings, and cars, a lot of care and attention clearly went into designing the period. The world itself might not be filled with extra side activities to take part in, but simply driving across the city is enough to make you don a fedora and start demanding respect from everyone around you.
Boss, I'd like to know how they knew where we were. You think they followed us?
I don't think so, Tommy. I have a feeling I know who set me up.
Barnyard.
Do you have a will, Peck? I mean, did you ever think of donating your body to, science?
Just be gentle with me, Otis. It's my first time.
This one is going to seem like an odd choice, but stick with us here. Yes, this is a game based on the Nickelodeon animated film, but somehow the devs managed to craft an open-world adventure more detailed and filled to the brim with deep, constantly engaging game mechanics that put many other sandbox games to shame. The Barnyard itself is full of side activities and missions, along with familiar characters and animals that help you deal with the numerous barnyard politics happening behind the scenes. A sentence I never thought I'd write. During the day, you complete a series of activities full of animated hijinks, all in preparation for the unhinged raves the Barnyard throws down at night, which sees you mixing drinks and competing for the Barnyard Champion leaderboard score. With a surprisingly deep narrative and unlockable areas full of additional content and missions, never judge a game by its license.
Otis kept all the animals safe after that, but he never forgot who helped him the most.
Driver Parallel Lines.
I just fixed you up with a shot at the big time.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Driver may have predated GTA's steps into the 3D world, but after the spectacular failure of Driver 3, Parallel Lines had quite the hurdle to overcome when it came to the series' reputation. What's especially impressive about Parallel Lines is not only do you get to explore a fully open-world New York, but you get two distinct time periods in which to do so, starting in the late 70s and once again in the mid-2000s. The ambition to evolve not only the city, but the time period, clothes, and vehicles was unprecedented at the time, and the attention to detail within both eras is unrivaled. With fully upgradable vehicles, after finishing the main story, you can freely switch back and forth between the different eras and bring whatever vehicle you want along for the ride. The revenge-fueled plot might have drawn players forward, but the city itself was the true hero of the entire experience.
On the surface, New York shone bright, but the old city I knew was still there.
Destroy All Humans.
How's the view from the safety of the mothership?
Very funny. Let's just say I'm glad I'm up here and you're down there.
Destroy All Humans might not be a true open world in the same sense as the other entries on our list, instead offering multiple but still quite large environments for players to unleash all the wrath of the Furon race on the unsuspecting public, but for just the sheer amount of options available for players to explore and completely decimate the world, few do it better than Crypto. The idyllic 1950s Americana is wonderfully recreated with cheeky nods to some of the absurdities of the time period. But the real star of the show is Crypto's numerous gadgets, weapons, and even his ship that can be used to completely level the entire area, much to the Furon and players' delight. Although the missions and side activities drive the game forward, it's the sheer level of destruction on offer that really draws players in and keeps them exploring and exploding the open world until nothing remains. Scarface, The World Is Yours.
Well, I'm back, okay? This is my town, my world, George, and nobody's gonna take it away from me.
Despite the rather clear finality of the original film, The World Is Yours picks up with Tony somehow surviving the shootout at the end of the movie. The World Is Yours might make use of the blueprints laid out by Rockstar's GTA series, but nails the tone, characters, and setting of the original 1983 film as Tony attempts to reclaim his throne as the de facto drug kingpin of Miami. The game offers players a wealth of weapons to take down rival gangs, and keeping with Tony's character, he even refuses to harm civilians, which is a nice touch, as is Tony's rage meter. The open world of Miami in the 1980s is wonderfully realized, and players are free to explore the entire map, including the surrounding waters, no matter their progress in the story, setting them loose to survey their future empire before reclaiming each territory.
The world is yours, Chico, and everything in it. So say goodnight to the bad guy.
Yakuza 2. The Yakuza games are widely regarded today as some of the best open world games on the market, but back when the series was just starting out on the PS2, it was still struggling with its open world design. Luckily, with the growing pains out of the way, Yakuza 2 delivered on the promise of exploring an incredibly detailed and dense district of Tokyo, in this case the fictional Kamurocho, complete with real-world inspirations and real-world landmarks. The map might not have been the biggest open world, but it was jam-packed with all manner of side activities and smaller areas to explore, making the world feel real and lived in. This incredibly detailed world not only accompanied a much deeper narrative, but also an upgraded combat system. All these elements would be further improved upon in the Kiwami remakes, only highlighting how impressive the world was in only the series' second game. True Crime: Streets of LA.
Not bad, big brother. I was getting worried you'd lost it.
I see you've been busy opening new gyms all around town.
I'm going franchise. Can you believe it?
There was no shortage of GTA-style games after the breakout success of GTA 3, but the True Crime series attempted to differentiate itself by setting their games in real-world locations, and while the New York follow-up might not have done the city justice, Streets of LA almost perfectly recreated the City of Angels. With a unique perspective of putting players in the role of a suspended police officer, Los Angeles was recreated with a surprising level of detail, pushing the PS2 to its limits with a whopping 240 square miles to explore. Alongside a greater focus on hand-to-hand combat, Streets of LA also included a morality system in which you could be on the side of the law or play bad cop for the entire adventure. Despite the real-world setting, Streets of LA still fully embraced the genre's absurdity and crafted a narrative that gets increasingly more over-the-top as it progresses, befitting of the city itself.
Well done, Mr. Cat.
You. I've seen you before.
Hanyu Kim, General of the North Korean Army.
Just Cause. We'll be the first to admit that some of our favorite moments with the GTA series are turning on all the cheats and just letting loose in the open world, and it would seem the devs at Avalanche Studios had the same idea when developing Just Cause. Giving players a massive open world, along with gravity-defying physics and a parachute, players can unleash as much chaos as their heart desires, and then grappling hook to a parachute jump away from the ensuing chaos. The island gives players a multitude of vehicles to commandeer alongside a wealth of weapons that turn the player into a one-man army taking on the dictatorship that has taken over the island. Just Cause is a summer popcorn blockbuster that is reminiscent of 80s action flicks where the script was only present to set up the next action set pieces, and we loved every second of it. Mercenaries: Playground of Destruction. The GTA open world formula proves to be one of the most versatile approaches to open world, and Mercenaries: Playground of Destruction leans heavily into the chaos of not only its title, but what the open world formula can allow. Dropping into North Korea to eliminate a series of high-ranking officials, players need to play nice with the in-game allied factions to not only track down their targets, but also unlock more tools of destruction. The open world is vast and varied, offering players numerous avenues for assaulting enemy bases and approaching each target. With a myriad of both land and air-based vehicles, all fully hijackable, the only limit is your imagination as you unleash as much unbridled chaos, violence, and destruction in the pursuit of your targets and, more importantly, their bounties. Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Hey, where's your punk money now?
What happened?
What happened is he's on show and no go.
It's rare for a series to reinvent itself as many times as the Need for Speed franchise, but when the series peaked back on the PS2 with their best open-world entry, Most Wanted, it's hard to replicate perfection. Just like the good old days, Most Wanted comes complete with a ridiculous storyline, but the real star of the show was the open world itself, the city of Rockport. Not only is the open world massive, but finding the best routes and shortcuts is crucial as you race your way through the city's 15 elite drivers, all while narrowly avoiding the relentless pursuit of the city's police. With a myriad of racing types from drag racing, circuit, and time trials, there was no shortage of content with players upgrading their ride every step of the way. Rockport remains one of the best open world cities in the entire series, and it's not even close.
When he's through with you, I never want to see your face again.
Total Overdose, a gunslinger's tale in Mexico. Something many open worlds nowadays take for granted is the fun factor of being set loose in a giant sandbox to cause all manner of chaos. And that's exactly what Total Overdose accomplishes in spades. Not concerned with realism whatsoever, Total Overdose feels like an early playable Robert Rodriguez movie with outlandish gunfights and ridiculously impractical moves that simply look cool. While it might not have had the expansive cityscapes of the GTA series, the fictionalized version of Mexico was well realized, and players had no shortage of environments to explore using any number of vehicles they could get their hands on. Sometimes all a game needs to do is set players loose in a world to make their own fun, and that's exactly what Total Overdose sets out to do.
That was breathtaking. I didn't know you had it in you. Risky, but very exciting.
Smugglers Run 2.
Where we will be dropping crates throughout the area for you to pick up. You must locate them and deliver them.
Seems pretty routine. What do you know that I don't?
The original Smugglers Run was a launch title for the PS2, and at the time, featured some of the largest environments many gamers had ever experienced up to that point. With Smugglers Run 2, everything was bigger, faster, and more aggressive as players attempted to grab their contraband and escape not only Border Patrol, but also other smugglers as well. Although developed by Rockstar, Smugglers Run 2 had more in common with the Twisted Metal series than GTA, as players sent one of their numerous vehicles careening around the environment, narrowly missing capture and losing their payload. At the time, few games let the player just drive as recklessly as they wanted without serious consequence, and Smugglers Run 2 gave players a much bigger and far more varied playground than its predecessor in which to put the pedal to the metal and drive into the sunset as fast as they could.
You did great. This should take care of everything. You deserve it. I'll see you around, kid. Hey, you stay out of trouble.
The Incredible Hulk, Ultimate Destruction.
My name is Bruce Banner, and this is me. I'm not a person anymore. I'm the Hulk. I did this to myself.
If you're going to build a game around comics' biggest lean, green fighting machine, you better build a world that can handle him. And Radical Entertainment created a near fully destructible world and set the Jolly Green Giant loose in a playground all his own. Utilizing all the best attributes of the Hulk's unparalleled power, players could leap incredible distances, run up the sides of buildings, and use the many objects and vehicles in the environment to cause even further destruction. The Incredible Hulk was set loose in a variety of biomes, each fully explorable in between missions with various side activities to engage in, all which feed back into increasing the Hulk's abilities so he can cause even more destruction. Never before had a game allowed the Hulk to be fully unleashed, and gamers loved every rage-induced moment of it. SSX3.
You can't ride without the tunes. You know what I'm saying? Check it out.
You wouldn't normally associate an open world with a sports title, but after the runaway success of SSX Tricky, developers at EA Vancouver needed to up the ante and gave players an entire mountain on which to shred. With 3 peaks to unlock with increasingly difficult objectives and races, the progression of climbing to the summit managed to perfectly coincide with the player's own abilities in the game without becoming a grind. Once fully unlocked, players could ride from the top all the way to the bottom in an exhilarating ride that could take them through everything from ice caverns to glistening cities built into the side of the mountain. Although more recent titles have attempted to do the same, none have managed to capture the feeling of the ice-cold wind and the snow beneath your board as you get tricky with it down the slopes and conquer the mountain. Shadow of the Colossus. Sometimes an open world doesn't need to be filled with constant activities or objectives to complete to be memorable. Sometimes it's the quieter moments that can be the most impactful. Such is the case with Shadow of the Colossus and its vast, empty landscape that's presented to wander from the start of the game. While you might not be able to freely take on each Colossus as you choose, it's the journey to each new enormous beast and the time to reflect on your last encounter that makes those long, quiet rides resonate with players in a way that many louder and more over-the-top open-world games fail to recapture. That's not to say the world is bland by any means, quite the opposite in fact. And it's those moments where you crest a hill and see a new crumbling structure or the shadow of your next challenge that can easily take your breath away. Spider-Man 2.
What is this garbage? Why are you bringing me shots of the city and not shots of Spider-Man? This is the sorriest excuse for... Oh, wait a second. Robbie wanted these, didn't he? Yeah, they're fine. Now get out of my office.
With great power comes a great world to explore. The city of New York is just as much a character as the friendly neighborhood wall-crawler himself, and after numerous attempts to fully encapsulate being Spider-Man, Treyarch managed to do the impossible and not only give players a fully realized New York City to explore, but made them feel like they were Spider-Man. Unlike previous outings for the webhead, Spidey had the near entirety of New York fully open to him to swing about to his heart's content, rescuing civilians and taking on the baddies all the way from the city streets to the rooftops above. Treyarch even expanded on the story from the film, allowing Spidey to cross paths with fan-favorite characters like Black Cat and Mysterio, and giving players more areas to explore than any other Spider-Man title up to that point.
After all, there's still only one. Spider-Man.
Bully.
I've got a good feeling about you, boy. A feeling you and I are going to be great friends. You keep that nose clean, boy, or I shall clean it myself.
Most gamers use video games as an escape from the real world, whether that be work or school. But Rockstar managed to make going to school fun again. While attending Bulworth Academy, you'll still be expected to attend classes and complete your assignments, but it's the moments in between where the game truly shines. Jimmy has access to any number of ways to explore the grounds of the academy, as well as the nearby town, and rising through the ranks of the numerous cliques and groups through increasingly outlandish pranks and activities bring the world to life just as much as its over-the-top characters. Bully managed to not only be fun and engaging throughout, even while you attended the mandatory classes, but also laid the groundwork for Rockstar's future games by creating one of their first truly living, breathing worlds players could fully immerse themselves in.
Hey man, now you're kinda creeping me out.
Why does everyone say that to me?
The Simpsons Hit and Run.
Homie, Lisa left for school without her science project. Can you get it to her?
Oh, do I have to?
You can drop it off on the way to work.
And I have to go to work?
The iconic family of The Simpsons are no strangers to chasing video game trends, having tried their hand at everything from wrestling to skateboarding and even taxi services. But it was in combining The Simpsons with the now industry standard GTA formula that the family truly found their place. With a fully open world Springfield to explore, complete with all the series' beloved characters to interact with and locations to visit, this was every lifelong Springfieldian's dream come true. Along with a hilarious script from the show's creators, as well as a full voice cast reprising their roles, every corner hid some piece of trivia or nod for longtime fans to appreciate and relentlessly track down. Say what you will about the quality of the Simpsons series after over 3 decades, but there's no denying that this was one of the best ways to experience not only the iconic family, but their beloved Springfield as well.
Imagine that, scared of some harmless nuclear waste. So very harmless. Oh, cut your fingernails!
The Getaway.
She does some wet jobs. Charlie says they never see it coming from a bird.
What? She's a topper?
Oh, yeah, mate. She's not the slightest bit squeamish about a bit of claret.
Although video games today are known for their detailed recreation of real-world locations, back on the PS2, this type of thing was unprecedented. While not a one-to-one recreation of London, the level of detail Team Soho was able to create on Sony's second console was unmatched at the time. Seeking to give players the most immersive and cinematic feeling ever created in a video game at the time, the Getaway featured no traditional HUD whatsoever, instead giving players directional indicators to their next objective using their vehicle's turn signals. Also, unlike GTA 3 only a year earlier, the Getaway featured real-world vehicles from well-known manufacturers such as Lexus and Fiat. The Getaway sought to recreate the look and feel of popular British gangster movies such as Snatch, and although The Getaway wasn't the runaway success GTA was, there's no denying the sheer technical achievement Team Soho managed to accomplish in only the PS2's second year. Grand Theft Auto Trilogy.
We gotta get our stuff and get out of here!
Relax, both of you. Let me think for a second. Tommy Vercetti just doesn't cut and run.
Undeniably the series that changed open-world games forever, we couldn't choose just one from the trilogy that redefined the open-world formula, so we're including them all in one entry. Each iteration built on the one before it, and the fact that Rockstar managed to develop and release all 3 expansive games within the span of 3 years makes this feat even more impressive when you consider just how much detail went into each entry and how each one was more ambitious than the last. Honestly, you'd be hard-pressed to choose one over the others, from 3's humble beginnings and memorable world to Vice City's atmosphere and characters, and the sheer scale and customization options available in San Andreas. The series has something for everyone. Everything that today's gamers love about the iconic series started here and began the deluge of copycat games trying desperately to chase the formula that Rockstar perfected.
Ooh, everything is different now.
What is it?
Everything. They will call this Year Zero.
What was your favorite open world experience back on the PS2? Share your picks in the comments. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.